Our Aleph Perek Daled. Our Aleph Perek Daled. Our Aleph Perek Daled. Your job is to watch this thing. Here we go. At the Hagah is where the print becomes fine print. And we're entering into an even more sophisticated level here of understanding. But,
Possible.
But yeah, so until now we said this, let me just refresh your memory. Already quite a big chiddush, and that is that there are, to put it in my words and to put it succinctly, Hashem created the world and man, he created a circle. And everybody knows that Kol Bidei Shamayim, everything comes from the Shamayim. What we don't know is what's going on in the Shamayim. We don't really understand the Shamayim very well. How could we know what's in the Shamayim? We're not privy to that information really. Little pieces if you really want to get into it, and say for Yecheskel about the Merkava, but we don't really know what's going on in the Shamayim, right? But what we do know is, scientists can tell us what's going on in the Oretz. So Shamayim, L'Hashem, Oretz Nasam L'Bnei Adam. Comes the Nefesh HaChaim, he tells us that there is a circle here. There's not a disconnect between the Shamayim and the Oretz, and the circle works. The 4 points on the circle that we need to understand for our purposes is that where in the circle do we start? Circle to circle. But there is. Let's start with us. There is a person. Here's our points. There is a Beis Hamikdash. There is a Beis Hamikdash Shamala, and then there is Hashem and the rest of the Shamayim. And those are 4 points which are connected with this circle. And you can, like every circuit, you can short circuit it anywhere you want or don't want, and that will ruin the circle. So if Chas v'Shalom HaKadosh Baruch Hu decides to cut the wire over here, so that there's no person, there's no Beis Hamikdash, there's no. But the chiddush is that we can also short circuit, God forbid, in this world, and the circle can be broken here. So if for instance, let's take the obvious example, if there's a Chorban Beis Hamikdash, there's a Chorban Beis Hamikdash, we're losing a whole connector there to the Shamayim. The Beis Hamikdash is a connector. That's an important connector, like a switch. That takes us from Oretz to Shamayim. That's how things go up. And then everything starts going nicely. The same thing is a connector of the Adam. So a person, the Adam, and the Adam, he alluded to the fact, I want to get more into it, to the detail, but Adam is Keneged the Beis HaMikdash. So it's there's a little Beis HaMikdash inside of us. Here's the big words. Gadol Misas Tzadikim Kisreifas Beis Mikdashenu. Tzaddik dies, it's like the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed. Why? Because the tzaddik within him holds an entire Beis Hamikdash. Actually, like the lave is the Holy of Holies, Kodesh HaKadoshim. The kidneys are something else. The brain is something else. These are all different parts of the Beis Hamikdash. So the Olam Misas Tzadikim, even bigger, Misreifas Beis Elokeinu than the Chorban Beis Hamikdash. So what we're talking about, what Chazal are addressing there, is another one of the points. I wish I had the technology vocabulary to understand how a circuit works. You can help me. But here's a point. Here's a point. Here's a point. What we learned is that what we're thinking in our lave, here's working. The circle goes the other way. What's working in our lave, even, let's say we lust in our hearts, or we worship Avodah Zarah in our hearts. So what's happening there is that goes straight up the circle, that Avodah Zarah goes straight up the circle to, as we learned to the Zohar, to the Moyach Hashem, to the mind of Hashem, Kivyacha, whatever that means, goes straight to his Beis HaMikdash, which is that which beams all koach into this world, and you will get a Chorban Beis HaMikdash. If there's a Pirud Levavo, Sinas Chinam, let's say, the example that we all know, the Chorban Beis HaMikdash was, what was the short? The short was Gilui Arayas, Shvichas Damim, Avodah Zarah, cardinal issues. That short-circuited it, And by the time that circle reached, by the time that energy reached the Beis Hamikdash Shalbata, the Beis Hamikdash Shalbata in Yerushalayim, even though it was right next door to where we started, but that's not the way it went. It didn't go like this. It didn't take the shortcut, whoop, all the way around the circle. By the time we reached here and Nebuchadnezzar came into the Beis Hamikdash, the Nefesh HaChaim quotes, these are all Zoyars, that Kimcha Tochan Tochanta. It was already a straw house. It was already destroyed from this way. So when he came in, there was nothing to do. It was a pushover. It was a kick out. If you look, by the way, at the description of the Chorban Beis Hamikdash in Tanakh, Nebuchadnezzar, so he was very disappointed. He was very disappointed that when he came into the Beis Hamikdash, it was so easy to knock down the Beis Hamikdash. He thought that this would be like a fight with God. It was going to be because that way it would show his strength, that he was like these people, Nebuchadnezzar, Paro, they consider themselves gods, and I'm stronger than the Beis Hamikdash. So if I'm stronger than the Beis Hamikdash, so put up a fight. So a guy wants to show what a gibor is, and you put him in the ring with with a 90-pound weakling. What did you show? It's embarrassing to. What do you give me? Give me somebody, So, but this was all. And then the circle works the other way around, because by the Chorban by Sheni, so many generations later, so we're told that Titus, Nebuchadnezzar was the butcher of the first Beis Hamikdash, and Titus was the butcher of the second Beis Hamikdash. And at the time of Titus, he came and he brought a zoina into the Kodesh HaKadoshim. It's like, whoa, is that what destroyed the Beis Hamikdash? No, because if there would have been a Beis Hamikdash, he wouldn't have been able to do that. What the siman of him being able, get this deep point, the siman of him being able to bring a zona, why did he do that? He had plenty of zonas in plenty of places. What was the idea of bringing a zona into the Beis Kodesh HaKadoshim? This was an energy that came because we brought zona into the Beis Kodesh HaKadoshim, which the Zohar says somehow, we haven't yet figured out, is nekama. There's somehow kina, rather. Somehow the kina that we have, I guess that, a person, the idea of znus is, I'm not happy with what I have. Like it's a gather of Bishiesh Leibana Ratza Basai, you find it the Gemara, Lazar ben Durdaya Loihidiach Zoina Boilo, like, must get better, must be something better, until Loihidiach, like that's it, he ran out of Zoinas, But the idea is that there's a certain kina, like, I don't have enough, I want more. You see this, by the way. You see people that are like so kulo olam hazeh. We're all a little bit olam hazeh. But you see people are like kulo olam hazeh, like they can't get the satisfaction. They're kind of looking for more. Maybe here, maybe there. Maybe if I travel to to Tahiti, like there's no. But what the point Galenu is that Titus's Zoila in the Beis Kodesh HaKadoshim there wasn't Garam anything. It started earlier in the circle with the Kodesh HaKadoshim, which is in the lave, and the Kodesh HaKadoshim, which is in the lave, evaporated to the Shamayim, and here's how it looks.
As a result.
Here's how it looks, right, that's your result. So this was a result, this wasn't the Garam, this was the result. So you see something crazy going on in the world of Kedusha, that's not causing anything. That's not causing anything. That is the result of something, and there's something very, very wrong with us, and it's probably balev. If you see there's different parts of the body, and the lave is the part which corresponds to the Kodesh Kadosh. There's a very sophisticated switchboard here, keyboard here. So specifically, the lave is going to cause a problem into the lave. I saw the Baral Biprag says, that famous story that. Time of the Bayesheni, second temple syndrome. One Kohen ran up to the Mizbeach to bring the carbon. Another Kohen was standing there and said, "Hey, I'm supposed to be doing the avodah now. What are you doing to the avodah? You see this in shul a lot when it comes to going to the avodah. That's right. What are you doing up there?" He pulled out a knife and he stabbed him, killed him. It's hard. It's so hard to understand. Like, you're the Beis Hamikdash. You're doing avodah Hashem. It's okay, you get carried. Like a couple of nights ago here in Beit Shemesh, there was like a stabbing. One person stabbed another person. They thought Arabs, they thought terrorists. No, one Jew stabbed the Jew. And I was standing there. It was just, and when I'm walking away, and I was like, how does one Jew stab another Jew? I just don't even get. I don't understand. 17-year-olds. Like, how does this happen? And okay, it happens. Bad chinuch. We can blame it on the schools. He probably got thrown out of some yeshiva. We can make all kinds of drushes about this, but here there is a deeper part to it. And the deeper part is that there is a societal lack of norm, which we're not stabbing anybody, but if we have to guess, there's some place in the lave which is a problem. Someplace in the lave which is a problem. I keep saying this, nobody listens to me, that if there's a lot of people getting stabbed, God forbid, in the back in Yerushalayim, so maybe we should stop backstabbing so much. There is this, even on a higher level. So I don't know, I'm just making a guess, but the circle, the point I want to make is that there is a circle. So when you see such a thing happen, you don't just look here, you don't look parallel at the schools, at the rabbis, at the chinuch, at the dysfunctional family. There's something wrong with the whole thing. So when one Kohen stabs another Kohen and kills him, this was an energy that came from Shemayim, something wrong. Now it doesn't make them innocent, but it helps explain that there's depth to this. This is not just like, so that's really what we learned. Those 4 points on the circle is what we learned until now. What's there to learn more over here? What's to learn more is this Hagah, which it's interesting. Just from last night to this morning, I mentioned this Hagah. We're talking to a few different Talmidei Chacham. I went to visit somebody in Telstow last night, Chashma people, and I said what it said in this Hagah. They said, no, that's not what it says. Everybody knew that. But it is what it says. What it says. It's interesting. We take what we know and we fit it into the words and we read it quickly. Let the word speak to you a little bit. What it says here in this Hagah.
But he's going himself.
What?
This is the son, or this is Rabbi Chaim?
This is Rabbi Chaim.
Okay.
No, only in the. This is Rabbi Chaim. Let's just do a couple of lines here. You have the Hagah, and mine is page class. I don't know if you have the same. Ki ha-mishkan v'ha-mikdash. Mishkan and the Mikdash, Mishkan and then later on the Beis HaMikdash. The Beis HaMikdash itself had Kol HaKochos v'ha'olamos. What are olamos? The worlds. We know this olam. That's just one olam. We know about olam haba. There are many. There are many worlds, infinite maybe. We don't have much understanding of. We know maybe there's such a thing as olam haba. Nobody knows what it is. Exactly. We imagine. But when we're talking about olamos elyonim, we're talking about an extremely intricate system of worlds that's going on in the Shemayim. I don't know if it's important for us to even know, but but we should know that there are. In Shemayim there are Partsufim, and in Shemayim there are Sitras, and there are all kinds of very complicated things. It's not just so simple as Olam Haba. In fact, Olam Haba is probably a bit of an erroneous term, because it's Olam Haba sounds like it's later, maybe later for us, but it's going on right now. So there's the Olam Ha'elyon, let's be more precise. There's the Olam Ha'elyon. What's going on in the Olam Ha'elyon? I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the Olam Ha'elyon. But in the Beis HaMikdash, get this, lulim or kolim kol hakoichos, anything which gives energy into this world, v'ha'elamis, it's all there. V'chol hasidrei kedushos kulam. These are Kabbalistic words. Sidrei kedushas. There are 7 sidrei kedusha in the Shabbat. I just know the words. There are 7 sidrei kedusha, all there in the Beis HaMikdash. Kol batav v'gin zavav, which was gin zachav, all the hidden antechambers of the Shemayim, all of the different batim in the Shemayim, chad aliyosav, the attics in Shemayim, v'chadarav in the rooms, v'chol kli hakodesh, Kulam hayu b'dugma yayin. All of these, like you say, okay, like in the Beis Hamikdash, there was a basement. Did you know that? There was a basement. That's where they used to hang the cows and all kinds of things. What was going on in the basement to the Beis Hamikdash? It was a basement. They used to go down, open up a hole, and there was like a whole zaf going on there in the basement. Total mishnayos about it. There's a basement in Shemayim too. There's a basement in Shemayim where they hang the cows. There's everything that you have here from the makam of the Kodesh HaKadoshim in the Beis Hamikdash, you have there. So before we even get into why, I mean, to me, this is what I said. I mentioned this to a couple of people. Like, this is an astounding chiddush. That it's not like we just said a minute ago. It's not only like we just said that somehow or another this is the communication line. This is the switchboard. This is the place that gets to affect the Shemayim, and everybody knows how Kol B'dei Shemayim, what affects the Shemayim, is going to affect us. No, much more complicated than that. The Beis Hamikdash Shalbata and the Mishkan Shalbata was a microcosm of the entire Shemayim. Do you know, like a mirror site? Is that the right word? like this is a mirror site. I'm thinking if do you ever see? I just happen to see what I'm thinking about. But you ever see somebody had on his iPhone? He has a burglar alarm system in his whole house, and the whole house is guarded. So he's got a picture of his house, not the lines of the house. Maybe more sophisticated would be, the pieces of the furniture, the color of the house. But this was just lines of the house. I'm sure everybody's seen it. And if there's a pirza, like somebody opens a window in the attic, beep, little green light over here. So this has to be. If you're missing a whole piece on your diagram on your phone, that means there's a whole piece that's not being represented. So this becomes a map of that. What's important here is a map of that. If you're missing a piece here, then there's something you don't know about there. Or there's something that's not being replicated on your computer or on your phone. You with me on this? So don't think voodoo dolls. Think burglar alarms. Like it's just a mapping system. The Beis Hamikdash now becomes a mapping system for everything that's going on in the Shemayim. You can have it's like you could do virtual thing. You could do an operation on somebody, all from you could do like brain surgery these days, without getting too close to the brain. You're just doing it all over here. Maybe you have to do it, but you're seeing everything here. What you're seeing on the screen is not real. But it has to be an exact replica of what's going on there. So when we're talking about the Beis Hamikdash, we're talking about an exact I wish I could come up with the exact mashal, but the exact mashal is the Beis Hamikdash. That the Beis Hamikdash is a map of every single thing that's going on in the Shemayim. Kol ha'olam kulam, nothing is missing.
Physical map? It's a physical map?
Yeah, physical.
A microcosm.
Right. I know those words. I just don't know if they correctly describe what I'm saying. But a physical map, meaning the Kodesh HaKadoshim represents one thing that's going on in Shemayim. Like there's a Beis Hamikdash in Shemayim. When we talk about the Beis Hamikdash Shambhala, and this, by the way, is going to help us understand something I didn't understand on Thursday when we learned that the Beis Hamikdash Shambhala we learned in the Zohar, you recall, is giving the energy, goes from the Moach Hashem to the Beis Hamikdash Shambhala. Remember we learned? So the Beis Hamikdash Shambhala, so we're imagining that, or at least I was imagining, that there's like this whole Shemayim, and then if you happen to be in Shemayim, you turn on Waze and say, take me to the hotel. And it takes you to the Beis Hamikdash Shomalo, which is Mechuvan. Can I get the Beis Hamikdash Shomalo? No, the whole thing is the Beis Hamikdash Shomalo. The whole thing, all the Yerlamas are the Beis Hamikdash Shomalo. See the difference? There is no difference. That's what the Zohar says. It's not that in Shemayim there's also a Beis Hamikdash Shomalo, Yerushalayim Shomalo. The whole thing, because and it's vast, it's infinite. Here it's finite. So what you have here in this world is a finite map or a dugma, a model, a microcosm, every word you want to look, a mirror every single thing that's going in the Beis Hamikdash Shamala, which is every single thing which is going on in the Shamayim. Nothing less. The whole Shamayim is there in Yerushalayim.
On one hand, we understand that we affect the Shemaim sort of by what we're doing here. On the other hand, we're saying it's a mirror side of what's going on there. So
It's a completely different idea. Right? Not completely different, but a completely more advanced
which way
idea.
is it going then? Seems like
Goes both ways.
so
That's a circle. A circle can go either way. What's the difference? Yeah.
So it goes. Could it be going both ways?
The words of the Nevi'im is Ratzui v'shav. Ratzui v'shav. Malachim are Ratzui v'shav. Malachi Elikim oilim v'yardim by. Yaakov Avinu had a glimpse of this in his nevuah. Sulam, Bakam HaMikdash here, climbed up to Sulam. Wow. Umalachi Elikim oilim v'yardim by. This is the connectivity that exists. Connectivity that's already last week's Torah. Here we're talking about something more. It's not just connectivity, it's exact replica, one of the other. That's the words here, which Ki HaMikdash, let's just make sure.
So our heart is the same thing then.
Heart is Kodesh Kodashim. Oh, we'll get to the people in a second. Ki HaMishkan v'HaMikdash, so far we're talking about, Hayu Kololim Kol HaKoichos v'Ha'Lamais, B'chol Sidrei Kedushos Kulam, Kol Bata Vigna Zachav, Ali Yosa V'Chadara V'chol Kli HaKodesh, the physical things Rabbi Chaim in this space HaMikdash, Kulam Hayu B'Dugma El Yoina, Tselem, Dmuz, Tavnis, Olamais Kedoshim, Sidrei Parakei HaMirkava, Hema Yisadam, David U'Shmuel, Haroya HaKol Miyad Hashem Aleim, Hiskol Kol Malachois HaTavnis, the Tavnis. The real revelation that took place on Har Sinai was a glimpse at the workings and the technology of the entire vast Shemayim. That's what really, and how do I know this? Because when it came to building the Mishkan, so Bezalel was a ingenious artisan. And Moshe Rabbeinu was Moshe Rabbeinu. So, but at the end, Kol Asher Ani Mara Oischa Bahar, build that which I am showing you, Bahar, on Har Sinai. That which I showed you on Har Sinai, build Kazeh Dugma Shalmala Lamata. So. The Zohar, I want to learn inside with you, but the Zohar says, Kol asher ani hera oischa bahar loiksi. Not that which I showed you on the mountain. Kol asher ani mara oischa, what does that mean?
I'm showing you.
Like Lashon Hova. The Zohar, it says, think mara Lashon mirror. A mareh. It's a mirror site. I mirrored everything that's in the Shemayim to you on the heart. Probably connected. Mirror, mareh. Connected words. Kol asher. It's a mirror. You have the exact same thing, but it's not it. In other words, you touch the mirror, you poke somebody in the eye in the mirror. Doesn't hurt.
Isn't Shemayim infinite though?
So how could it be? So that's what Tzimtzum means. Stamakash. That's where the sugya of Tzimtzum comes in. How HaKadosh Baruch Hu was able to take infinite and put it into a tzura of finite.
So if it wasn't for the Chet HaEgo, we wouldn't have any need for that. It would have been just our hearts that would have made Mikdash.
The world itself.
The world itself.
See, let me tell you something. I don't mean to be, I just want to make the point, I don't mean to be arrogant in any way, but I was saying this to somebody last night, so he said it's a Mefurish, very cautious verse. So it's a Mefurish Medrash Tanchuma at the beginning of Pikudei. That this mirror takes place. So I looked. No. Here it says, and this is, and I point this out not to show that he's making a mistake, but I'm just saying here's where the confusion, where we're intellectually skipping a piece. Here it says, Shakol Beis Hamikdash Eila Pekudei HaMishkan, not the Mishkan. Shakol Keneged Brias Olam, that the Beis Hamikdash is a replica of a microcosm, let's use that word, okay? A microcosm of the whole creation of the world. Berisha Ksiv Bereishis Bar Elokim V'Shamayim V'Sa'aretz Uksiv Noita Shamayim Ka'Yiriyah. That Noita Shamayim Ka'Yiriyah. David HaMelech explained that when Hashem made the world, he painted this great roof over our heads called the Shamayim. So you look up, beautiful blue sky, right? That's Noita Shamayim Ka'Yiriyah Uba Mishkan V'Asisa Yiriyos Izim. We had Yiriyos in the Mishkan. So the Yiriyos, just like Hashem made a Vayavdil Bain Shamayim V'Aretz, he made a Yiriyah, so too we should make a Yiriyah. Yom HaSheni Vasheni Yehi Rakia V'Omer Ben Havdalah Shenamri Mavdil Ben Mayim L'Moyim Mishkan Ksiv Yivdila Paroiches Lochem. You have a Paroches, which is the Havdalah, also separating. Shlishik Simayim Mikavla Mayim Mishkan Sivasisa Kiyar Nechoshes. Hashem made water. We have that bria. You know, when you look at the Kiyar, that beautiful fountain in the Beis Hamikdash, that represents the Atlantic Ocean. And if it has 7 spouts, it represents the 7 seas. The Seder is beautiful, but this is not what we're talking about here. Here we're talking about this whole medrash. I can read through the whole thing. The whole medrash is saying one simple thing, that there was a microcosm in the Beis Hamikdash of what?
Creation.
Of creation. Here, Rabbi Chaim Volozhin is saying there's a microcosm not of creation, of pre-creation, of Shamayim, of what's going on in the Shamayim, something we don't even, like, you're not even supposed to think about. Baal Bata, Baal Lefni, Baal Ochar. This is like off-limit stuff. So, but the Beis Hamikdash is Baal. That's what the Nefesh HaChaim is saying. Completely different. And I actually went took a long time. I went through all of maybe a different mush. It's an almost, but it's not there yet. What he's saying here is that it's. I saw.
Aren't these kofos and aromas part of creation?
What do you mean? But there's 3 things. There's the Shamayim, there's the creation, and then there's which the Adam is in charge of, and then there's the Beis Hamikdash. So what is it replicating?
Why?
The sun. Just like there's an ocean, there's a Kiyar. What's that to do with Shamayim?
The creation, didn't the creation include everything, not only the
That's
ark?
Shamayim Esaretz. It's talking about the Shamayim on the planet. It's not talking about the Shamayim. It's not. It's not. The Shamayim in Chumash. Bereishis Bar Elokim Es HaShamayim V'Sa'aretz is talking about the place. I believe it's talking about the place where astronauts go. What's that?
What's the Mayim Elyon?
No gravity. Yes, gravity. Oh, Elam Haisa Toyu Vavayu. The Mayim Al Pnei Kol HaTahim. You're talking about the planet. Maybe the universe, but you're not talking about the Shamayim as the way we're talking about the
Not a
Shamayim.
different dimension. It's this dimension.
Right. I have no idea. I also don't know what a supernal being is.
There is more water in space than there is in Earth.
Hmm?
There's more water in space than there is in the Earth.
Thank you.
There is, yeah, sure. And asteroids and frozen ice. Sure. Much more.
And therefore what?
Mayim l'mayim. Mayim l'mayim. There could be mayim l'yonim in space, what we're saying.
Nachon.
Yeah. There is more water.
Right. We should build our building there, Danny. We wouldn't have a problem with Mei Shemesh. To give you a good example, I just happened to find this. About Daras Eliyahu, that's the Vilna Gaon, Parshas Dvarim. it says that Moshe Rabbeinu is involved in building the Mishkan. They had to build a menorah, and Moshe Rabbeinu, I don't know how to build a menorah. Now I'm saying, if you go to a student at Bezalel Art Scroll, he knows how to build a menorah. Like, what's so hard? It's not even so complicated. It has 7 branches. It's easy, right? The kaftar, the farach. We know what a farach is, and we know what a kaftar is. It has flowers. It has kaftar. It has geviyim. Mabaya. Like, why? Like, other things were more complicated, if you ask me. But menorah, I mean, we all have a picture of a menorah in our head. Okay, like, so, if Sharlagi, that this was the first menorah, so they couldn't stop it. But still, Moshe Rabbeinu, right? And Ad Kedei Kach, Rashi brings us a chumash that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know how to build a menorah. He said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I don't know how to build a menorah, so he says, okay, I'll show you a menorah. That was part. I'll mirror you down. I'll beam you down, Moshe. A menorah. Here's what a menorah looks like. Let's says the going. Just a glimpse of what we don't know. Yadua was the going like Agav. Menorah hu nun shari bina. The menorah represents nun shari bina. So there's only 50. When we were in Mitzrayim, we went Memtesh Sharei Tumah. This is not something different. That's all the same thing. So the Memtesh Sharei Tumah is like, imagine the way I'm always understanding. It's not like you're going down 49 levels, or you're going up 49 rungs of Yaakov's ladder. Imagine it more like a copper wire with 50 strands. And these are connectivity from to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The light is connected with a 50-strand wire. You knock one wire out, nothing happens. It's not discernible. You knock 10 wires out. If you're down to the wire, the last wire, so you're very, very fragile, very delicate. Maybe the light is flickering. So when we talk about that, Klal Yisrael Memtesh Sharei Tumah means that there were 50 levels of Nun Sharei Bina that Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov established with their Bina of understanding HaKadosh Baruch Hu and being connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and one by one in Mitzrayim, snip, 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 snip. So the only thing we didn't do was snip the 50th. So we were still connected with one delicate, fragile strand to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The difference between our connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and wires is that with our connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is like organic, it can grow back. So we can get back. Comes the Yemei HaSfira, we connect again. Chesed, Gura, Tiferes, Netzach, Chod, Yisod, Malchus. We're connecting again. So we're connecting. We're restoring the 50. Now, I mentioned yesterday in Shul that it says 50 days, but we only count 49. What happened? What happened to the 50th? Because we don't have a Muslim. 50th was what it says. You count 50 days. So why are we counting 49? We count. Chazal like to do this. It says you should give a person 40 makas. Give him 39. It seems to be, there's 40 balachas, 39 must be. What's that? It says 50 days. Chamishim yom tisperu, chamishim yom. We can't get more before the pasuk than that. 3 months. And what do we do? 49. So it's like a pellet. But the problem is, I don't know the full answer to that, but at least part of the answer is that the 50th shar is there, the 50th is there, but this is already Sarusa delay. Well, this is not something, yes, there are 50 strands, but you're only going to be able to get to the 49th. You can't really be masig the 50th. And when we tried, at Har Sinai, we backed off. Apparently, even Moshe Rabbeinu was not masig the Shar Hanun. Do you understand this? I don't understand it. I'm just saying that it's... What? Why do you ask? No. No, because the Shar Anun Ayin Lo Yirasa Lakim Zulasecha. So says the Goin, who all this was Shitole, Golden Gaon. A menorah who nun shari bina. The menorah is your nun shari bina. You got to have all its sharim in the Beis Hamikdash because microcosm. So nun shari bina. Moshe Rabbeinu had no problem understanding how to put a kafter and a parach on a piece of gold. But what he had a hard understanding was the Shvila Derakia. And how is this manifesting itself in this menorah? I'm stuck, he says to Hashem. I know how to make a menorah like everybody else knows how to make a menorah. And Betzalel was Malay, Ruach, Chachma, Bina, and Das, and all that. But the menorah, Nun, Shari, Bina, how in the world am I supposed to make a menorah? It wasn't something you learned in art school. You know? So the menorah has Chaf Beis Gevin. Has 22 cups. Yud Aleph Kaftarim, 11 buttons, Tes Prachim, 9 flowers. Right, you have the Harei Membeis Keneged Shem Membeis. That's the Anabachoyach is the Shem HaMembeis, the 42-letter name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which describes a lot. If you look at the little letters next to the Anabachoach, every night by Sfiras Omer, you have Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Tav, Anabachoach, Gedulas, etc. So that's 42. We got to the Shem. Okay. Ad Kedei Kach, I could understand the 42-letter name of Hashem. Zayin Kanim. Now there's 7 Kanim. Harei Memtes. So we got up to 49. Says the guy. These are the Memtes Shari Bina. Moshe Rabbeinu, if you look at the Lashon of Chazal, Lo'hevin es Guf HaMenorah. The part he couldn't understand was the Guf HaMenorah. Guf Shal HaMenorah Hu Shar Hanun. V'zeh Sheniskasha B'Moshe. A throwaway from the gun. Moshe Rabbeinu had no problem understanding menorahs. You got to make sure he's menorahs. Yeah, but what he couldn't, and he could even understand the kafter and the ferach and the gevim and he could understand all of that. But what about the Shar Hanun, which is the Guf HaMenorah, by the way? This is the part that he couldn't understand, the middle...
Branch.
It's all together.
Not a branch.
No,
Right.
trunk.
No, but think about it, because the branches, I can understand branches. That's the outcome.
Base.
The trunk.
Base, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Nun Shari Bina, understanding. And Moshe Rabbeinu says, in the Ader Seleo, he brings Moshe Rabbeinu says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I begged you! Hareini nas kivoitcha. Says the Yonasan ben Uziel, Shehu Shar Hanun. I begged you, and you wouldn't show me. But you're Adam, B'chai. Now you want me to make a menorah? How am I supposed to make a menorah? Okay, I'll show you the menorah. He showed him the menorah. Mirror, boom, beamed into his screen. Nesach HaMavdil. Beamed into his screen. And here he sees the menorah. This is the kasha. So the chiddush here is. See, I don't. The Gemara says. I'm just thinking. The Gemara says that Shmuel, the Bavel, right? So he understood the Shvila Derakia to Shvila Denarda. He was much of a bucky in the ways of the Shemayim, of Shemayim, with as he was in the Shavili Dinar. He knew how to get around in Shemayim. Now, apparently, okay, so he knew many of how he had this gilui. So the guy knew. There was this Indian of understanding the road works of Shemayim. Reb Tzadok says so beautifully. Tzadok HaKohen says, he says, I can understand that Shmuel understood and toiled and worked on understanding the Shvila Derakia, all the different roads and intricacies of the Shemayim. Well, why did he know the Shvila Denarda? Why did he have to go in Narda? Did he have to know all the different ways? But he knew the Shemayim like he knew the Shvila Denarda. it's a wonderful kasha. Like there's a himmelmensch. So Reb Tzadok brings a proof from here that you also have to know the shvila d'rakia. You also have to know how to get along in this world and how to get through and get around from place to place in this world. But if you had this great ways in Shamayim, which is taking you everywhere, it would be fascinating. But we put it into the none of our business too hard pile what's going on in the Shamayim. But here you see that and with this I'll end for today, and then we'll go further into it. That we see that the Beis Hamikdash Shalmata, when you're looking at it, don't look at it any longer as just a place to connect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, or an inspiring place to connect. It's K'chol Asher Ani Maros Bahar. It is the mirror of the entire. If you knew how to look at the Beis Hamikdash correctly, you would see all the Olamos Elyonim. You would see all of the Sidrei Kedusha. You would see everything. You would see the Nun Shari Bina, all in that one place. And why? What's the advantage? Apparently, this is first of all that Hashem created the world. I don't know why, I don't know, but when Hashem created the world, a new thing, the world is an image, a mirror image of that which is going on in Shemayim, and everything has a makbil. Everything has a makbil. So it's not just that it affects it somehow magically. It's it. It is it. It isn't. It's not that.